This dining chair is reminiscent of a Danish design from the 1970s by a furniture company called Gangsu Mobler. My suspicion is that it's Canadian made because there's slight variations to the legs and it's not exactly the same. And I did pick it up here in Canada, so I think it's probably Canadian. But for those who love teak and who love a retro design, I don't think it really matters. I'm going to do something different with this video, and I'm going to try to record no voiceovers. I'm just going to explain things as I'm filming. That's my goal, so we'll see if I succeed. Okay, first things first is I have 6 of these chairs to refinish and the matching dining table. The good news is the chairs are solid teak. Let me show you here. So here's the side, and you can see how the grain follows through from the side. So that tells you that it's solid teak. And all the pieces are like that. So that is great, but they are heavy. But the other good news is that there's no curves. It's straight, so it'll be really easy to sand. I'll have to be very careful in taking them apart and making sure I put all the pieces back in the right places. But that shouldn't be a problem. The upholstery, I'm not sure about. It looks like it's probably been redone. It doesn't look done like it was done professionally, like maybe someone recovered it by themselves, because the corners and the sewing under here don't look that great. If I can save the material, because it looks like it's in pretty good shape. If I can save it, clean it, and reupholster it with the same, I love the color combination. I might keep it. I might not. We'll see. But I'm excited about this one because I think it is just a real funky, retro-looking set, and I think someone will love it. And let's get started. Okay, the first order of business is to find an Allen key that fits all these pieces here, and there's quite a few of them. Haha, first try. It's going to be a good day. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. And these look like solid, the ends look like solid brass, which will be really nice once cleaned up. That's very cool. There appears to be some screws under here. Aha! It's not actually a screw. I see what it is. It's one of these things. And the bolt fits into that. That's how it's attached. Cool. Aha, these ones are shorter. There's just dowels, 2 dowels, and the bolt that went in right here. So that'll be easy to take off. Let's give you an idea how it's just been hand stitched here and up to here, and then again around. There we go. Aha! This is pretty heavy. There must be a solid piece of plywood or something in there. I'm looking at this now thinking, do I really have to take it all apart? Probably not. I think if I can get this off as one piece, and same with the other side, I can sand this all as one piece, and it will be fairly easy. So really, the only thing I'm concerned with is getting these two things off, because then I'll be able to sand the inside of this really well if I can remove this and this. But I don't have to deconstruct this whole side piece. I can get to it and sand it quite easily without taking every single piece apart, which will save a lot of time. So that's my strategy. Haha, yay. I'm always glad when things work out, because so often they don't. I'm going to push this back in because I'm going to sand it all as one piece. Okay, I've used some Goo Gone on the bottom to get the sticker. There was some felt feet attached to the bottom here. And of course it's left a sticky residue. So I'm using a scraper and Goo Gone. Usually that does a pretty good job. Yeah, most of it's off, so the sandpaper will get the rest of it off. I'm going over with the sander all along the 45-degree edges, all along all these pieces. There's 45-degree edges sanded or routed into the sides here. So I'm using the Surf Prep sander to go over all the parts I can get to, and the parts that I can't get to in here I'll just hand sand. Day one is complete, and I've finished sanding 3 of the chairs. They're taken all apart, sanded. There's all the seats and the backs, and I've taken apart the last 3, and they're waiting to be sanded in the morning. So things are going pretty good. It's pretty bad. It's very badly stained. I'm going to clean it with my little Bissell spot cleaner here and see if it actually brightens it up and cleans it. And that will kind of determine whether I keep the fabric or not. The fabric's in good shape. There's no fraying, there's no wear on it. It's just very dirty. So we'll see. Here is the dirty water from the upholstery. Let's see how dirty it is. Oh yeah, it's pretty dirty. I'm going to put all the pieces of fasteners and hardware and stuff into some rust remover. As you can see, some of them are quite rusty. I don't know how come some are and some aren't, but anyways, this should take care of it. You can see the rust on these ones here. So here we go. These have been in the rust remover for about, I don't know, a couple of hours. Oh yeah, they're looking good. Okay, I've left these ones overnight, so hopefully the rust has come off of them. They're looking pretty clean. This one in here, I forgot about that. I've got these few done at the top, and I still have all these to clean up. So I'm going to turn off the camera because I don't need to bore you all. Okay, time to apply the top coat or the finish. I'm going to be using Osmo Pollux oil because I've had good luck with it in the past, and it's easy to apply and it's not very stinky. And I'm doing this in my enclosed basement workshop, so I don't want anything too smelly because the smell will go through my house. So in the winter when I work out of my basement, I try never to use heavy chemicals that smell really bad. I do have a window in here, so I can open the window, but if I use lacquers or anything, it just goes right through the house, so I'm not going to do that. Plus, I really like this hard wax finish. It looks really nice. So all the cushions have come out really spot-free and clean looking, except for this one. This is the one that had the pen mark right here. So it wasn't coming out with the regular Bissell spot cleaner. So I found this really old Turtle Wax Power Out upholstery cleaner in my cupboard, decided to give it a try. And off camera, I just treated the spot here. And it did actually take out the pen mark. There's just the faintest line, you can't even tell. But it left this sort of big mark here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reapply the Bissell cleaning method to the whole cushion and see if it takes out the kind of ring mark from the other cleaner. We'll see if that works. It seems to have worked. This was the lower corner that had the big splotch on it. I can't see that anymore. It's still wet, so we'll only know once it completely dries, but I don't see the splotch. The pen mark is so faint that if you didn't know it had been there, you probably wouldn't, you'd just think it's part of the fabric. So I think we're good. Now here is the tabletop that matches the chairs that I've just finished. It's in pretty good shape. Not a lot of marks. There's a few spots like this. A little bit of some gouging on the side here. It's not solid teak like the chairs. You can tell that by, if you look at the corner here, there's edge banding here and here that look like solid teak, like the banding is solid teak. So that leads me to believe this here is teak veneer. In the middle, there's an inlay of tile, which if you'd asked me probably a year ago, I would have said, ugh, yuck. But I actually like it now. My tastes have changed as I've been working on more mid-century stuff, and I think it looks great, especially because it's in the same color as the upholstered chairs, and it's very practical. I mean, you know, you never need a hot plate. You just put all your hot serving dishes on here, and you don't have to worry about it ruining your wood. So that's kind of cool. Let me know what you think. I know some people just hate this, and like I said, I was one of them, but I've kind of grown to like them. So just curiosity in the comments, drop me a line and let me know what you think. And that's it. So we're going to start on it now. I've done an initial sanding to 150 grit. It's looking pretty good. I've ironed out a couple little dents that were in the surface. They seem to have come out, so it's looking good. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to flip it over and sand the underside of it very lightly with 150. Then I'll come back and do 180 on the top, and then it's ready to oil. This is the underside of the table. I've sanded it to 150 and now I am going to put a coat of Osmo Pollux oil on it. And that should just give it a good enough protection. Didn't need to do the underside, but I hate when the top's all nice and then you turn it around and look at the back and it just looks awful. Just doesn't look like a complete job. I've sanded this to 180 grit. I initially used 150, then went up to 180. It's perfectly smooth, doesn't need anything more than that. I've taped off the tile so I don't get any hard wax oil on it, and it's ready to put a finish on. Always the most exciting part. Okay, the last step before this whole job is complete is to attach some 3M strips of felt to the bottom here. I bought this package off of Amazon, and what it is just you cut it to size. And I just need a piece on each, the front and back of each chair side. It's good for if you're on a hardwood floor, it helps the chair slide, and if you don't need it because you've got the chairs on carpet, then you can just peel them off and just use it with the teak, which will slide fine on carpet. So that's the last step before this job is done. Well, I almost made it to the end without a voiceover, but not quite. Here's a quick reminder of what I started with. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this style of furniture. I know it's definitely not for everyone. Enjoy the after photos, and I'll catch you next time.